Imagine it's the 90s, the dawn of the dot-com boom. The internet is wild, free, and brimming with possibilities, a digital frontier unclaimed by corporate monopolies. Fast forward to today, and that dream of an open web feels like a distant memory, replaced by a world dominated by a few major players. Facebook, Instagram, X names synonymous with control and algorithms built to maximize profits over genuine connection. But what if I told you that the spirit of that open frontier is making a comeback? Decentralized social media platforms like Mastodon and Bluesky are shaking up the game. They promise something revolutionary: autonomy, privacy, and a voice unfiltered by the whims of algorithms chasing ad revenue. They represent more than just another trend. They're the rebirth of an idea, one where the user is at the center. But what does this mean for all of us? For marketers, businesses, and tech enthusiasts, especially in dynamic regions like the UAE and KSA, where digital transformation is reshaping how people connect, let's dive into the forces driving this change, the implications for centralized networks, and how both users and brands can navigate this uncharted territory. At the heart of this movement is the growing demand for control over data, privacy, and digital identities. Think about this. 73% of people are more concerned about data privacy now than just a few years ago. Decentralized platforms promise something groundbreaking: true data ownership. Instead of surrendering your personal information to corporate giants, these platforms allow users to decide what's shared and how. Mastodon, for example, operates on decentralized principles. It's built on independent servers, known as instances, run by community moderators rather than a single entity. It's like a network of small villages instead of one sprawling metropolis. On Bluesky, the focus is community first, with a surprising 30% of users actively contributing content, an engagement rate unheard of on traditional networks. Compare this to platforms like Facebook or X, where algorithms often stifle organic interaction in favor of what's most profitable to show you. For users, this shift means fewer ads and less manipulation. For brands, it's an invitation to rethink how they engage. Instead of relying on hyper-targeted campaigns driven by invasive data practices, they'll need to build real, authentic connections. Let's compare this to the social media giants we're all familiar with. Centralized platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're like perfectly manicured gardens. Controlled, curated, predictable. They decide what you see, what gets promoted, and even what deserves to be hidden. It's a walled garden designed not for you, but for ad dollars. Decentralized platforms, on the other hand, are like public parks: open, collaborative, and user-driven. They're not perfect. They lack the polish and convenience of centralized platforms, but they offer freedom. They let people decide how they connect, collaborate, and share. This shift is creating new opportunities, but also challenges. Platforms like Bluesky have seen explosive growth, adding 1 million users a day at one point and reaching over 20 million users in late 2024. But they're not replacing centralized platforms overnight. Instead, they're emerging as viable alternatives for those who value privacy, freedom, and authenticity. Traditional platforms still have a big advantage: advertising infrastructure. Let's face it, for marketers, centralized platforms are a goldmine of insights and targeting tools. Decentralized networks don't have that, at least not yet. So how do you market in a world where you can't rely on precision targeting? Here's where it gets interesting. For marketers in places like the UAE and KSA, where digital engagement is a cornerstone of business success, decentralized platforms represent a fascinating opportunity. Instead of chasing views and clicks through ads, brands can focus on building deeper relationships. Imagine sponsoring a community on Mastodon or becoming an active participant in conversations on Bluesky. It's not about shouting over the noise, it's about being part of the conversation. It's about value over volume, substance over spectacle. Yes, monetization on decentralized platforms is challenging. There aren't the sophisticated ad tools you're used to, but that's also the point. Instead of intrusive ads, brands can explore sponsorships, exclusive content, or even hosting community events. Think of it like going back to basics, earning trust and loyalty through meaningful interaction, not flashy campaigns. Engagement on these platforms isn't just different, it's better. Users are more active, more involved, and more likely to interact with content that feels genuine. It's a chance for brands to get creative, to provide real value rather than competing for attention in a crowded feed. But let's not ignore the hurdles. Decentralized platforms aren't perfect. They lack the seamless user experience we've come to expect. They require effort, sometimes even a learning curve. And for brands, measuring ROI on these platforms will be a challenge. Yet, there's something refreshing about the imperfection. It feels human. It feels real. And as younger audiences increasingly reject corporate-dominated digital spaces, the appeal of these platforms will only grow. For those of us who remember the early days of the internet, this feels like a second chance. A chance to return to a space where creativity, community, and connection come first. And for brands willing to adapt, it's a chance to lead, not follow. So here's the question. Are you ready to embrace this new frontier? Are you ready to move beyond polished feeds and perfect metrics and engage with your audience in a way that feels genuine and meaningful? Because decentralized social media isn't just a technological shift, it's a cultural one. It's about people taking back control of their digital lives. It's about brands rediscovering the power of real connection. And it's about being part of something bigger, something that feels less like a transaction and more like a conversation. If you're curious, if you're ready to step into the unpolished, unpredictable world of decentralized platforms, why not give it a try? Join me on Mastodon, on Bluesky, wherever the conversation takes us. Let's be part of the Geek Army, pioneering a future where social media is less about algorithms and more about authenticity. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more insights into the evolving world of digital, marketing, leadership, and technology, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and please share this video. Maybe it will resonate with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.